Psychic Cynthia. Welcome. And welcome to more tea time in the garden today. And this evening I'm out in the garden just enjoying a wonderful time of relaxation and respite from a busy day. And today I wanted to talk with you about your psychic journey, your spiritual journey, and the role that being in nature might play for you. And it just seemed like a good time to be making this video because, at least when I'm filming it, this is at the end of spring, going into the beginning of summer, and it's such a lovely time. Everything is blooming and blossoming now, and it hasn't burned out from the heat of the summer yet, so there's such a healing energy to spring, and I'm experiencing that now and wanted to share it a little bit with you all in the video today. So let's get to it. Let's talk about your path. And if you're developing psychically, what would being in nature have to do with that? Well, for those of you who study with me at all, or just watch these videos, you might pick up that I'm real big on nature. And part of that is because I find that our psychic abilities are both enhanced and balanced by simply being in nature. Being in a garden, walking through a park, going to the mountains, going to the beach, going to the desert, walking through the forest. Maybe even just getting outside your door to the end of the block where there's some trees. Outside your office where there's some trees, for example. All of these environments, just being in a more natural, quote-unquote, environment, can be very beneficial for when you are trying to develop psychically. Also, what it does is it just helps to regulate the opening and closing as a psychic. I have some students and some clients who are really working on opening up psychically. Actually, all my students and clients are working on that in some ways, even if they're really open in other ways. They're working on opening more and connecting more. I mean, aren't we always trying to receive more or more clearly? So if you're trying to do that on your psychic path or your spiritual path, you say, for example, want to hear your guides more clearly, then spend some time in nature. Just being outside. And even, I'm in the city, and I'm sure you can hear some of the loud cars going by because I'm not that far from a major highway. And sometimes the motorcycles in particular get really loud. And actually the air conditioning is running too in the background. I apologize, it's a little loud, although I love the air conditioning. I'm glad it's going to be chilly when I go in. I digress. But, you don't have to get away to Mount Everest or Tibet to experience nature. That's my point here. And if you happen to be on Mount Everest or Tibet, good for you. Okay, if you're in those places, great for you. But for the rest of us, wherever we live, I know a lot of us do live in cities. Now, some of us are lucky enough to live in the country. If you live in a city, maybe if you have a yard, like I do, even a little yard, you can create your own backyard garden, Even if that backyard garden is native, quote-unquote, weeds, that can still be very powerful. Or you can go to nature trails or walk down the block wherever there's trees. Just get there. Even just being out underneath the open sky is really powerful. I will say being around plants, a place where there are plants growing or trees is going to be doubly powerful in enhancing and balancing your psychic abilities. So if you want to open more, just get outside in nature some. Now, if your issue is that you are too open, and hey, if so, my heart goes out to you. I've been there, done that, and some days I still do it. Most of the time, though, I find that by being out in my garden and spending time in nature, I stay just the right level of openness. In other words, there's a balancing that happens for me. Why do you think I spend so much time gardening and making the flower essences? Because it helps me to stay properly open, well opened, able to receive from my guides, but also not too open, not so much where I'm going through life and just all I'm doing is picking up on other people's energies and emotions. That's not a life. That's like living somebody else's life, like all these different people's lives, right? So I know there's a lot of different techniques we can use to open, and of course I'll be exploring more of these on my channel as time goes on. But really, truly, I am serious when I say if you will just get outside and spend some time in nature on a regular basis, that will help you to connect with your guides, to connect with your higher self, to feel your intuition. Sometimes you can solve your problems psychically that way. I mean, if something is really bothering you, just get outside to a natural place and spend some time there, however long you need, and let nature talk to you. Let her tell you. Let your guides come through. Because they will. They will. So I know that not everybody likes getting outside, but you know, it is natural. We humans, we are animals, right? I mean, we may not like to think we are, but we are animal creatures just like any other creature, and we were made to be in the outdoors. So maybe unplug your phone sometimes, unplug your tech for a little while, and go and be out in nature. And it is important when you really want to tune in nature that you do unplug your tech. I know that I'm out here filming outside, but when I really want to connect, I'm going to turn this off and tune into a higher tech, the tech of nature, the intelligence, because I want to, you might say, receive the downloads from the higher self, and I can do that by just, you know, being in nature. And you can just sit and relax and meditate, drink your tea if you want, like I do often. That's really a holy, sacred meditation for me. Or maybe you can get out if you want and walk and move or dance or drum or even garden a little. As long as you don't get too worked up while you're doing the work. In other words, if you can kind of do it in a relaxed way, that can also be a good way for opening your psychic abilities and or getting them balanced. So try it and see. And I'd like to hear more about your experiences in being in nature and how that has opened you psychically. If you feel like sharing, feel free to comment below. I think you will find it makes a big difference, and it's something easy that you can do. Easy and fun, especially in the warmer months, especially then. So have fun implementing, and again, let me know how it turns out for you. Good luck on your journey, and if you like what you're learning here, do subscribe so you can be notified of when I do these videos. Until next time, bright blessings to you all. Much love.